Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to have you. And today, a highly requested video. From the very beginning, people have been asking me what kind of brushes do you use. So, without further ado, let's go right into it. My friends, this video almost didn't happen. First of all, my alarm didn't go off. Then I woke up and I felt so sick. And I actually felt like I cannot get up. And my stomach was in like a whole big knot. And wow. So if this is a little bit messy today and not as prepared, then I'm sorry, but I still wanted to not skip this video. And worst case, if I'm leaving out something, I'm just going to do a second part or a touch up on, issues later on or whatever. But I know that this is very interesting to a lot of you, what kind of brushes I'm using, because you've been asking me, what kind of brushes are you using? Tell us about it and the shapes and the brands and whatever. So here it is. So that's what we're going to do today. And I actually want to dedicate this video today to someone, and that is a friend of mine who is not actually a friend of mine because I don't know her that much, but her name is Merav. And she has been working in my local supermarket at the cash register. And I met her basically just going to the supermarket and wanting to pay for the groceries. And it was her first day, or one of her first days, because she was sitting there with someone who was training her. And I just wanted to be nice, and I wished her good luck for her new job and whatever. And the following weeks, I just always went to her. She was so nice and sweet, and every time I was there, because I buy so much for my big family, and so it always takes a long time till I finish. And so we always, chatted a little bit. And over the weeks, it was just so sweet how she, when I came into the supermarket, she was like, "Hi, Leora," and she was talking to her colleagues about me, and yeah, she's on Instagram, and and she was actually treating me like a movie star. And it actually happened one time that she opened a new line, like a new how do you say that? A new line where you can pay just for me, so I didn't have to wait in line. So she was the first person who treated me like a superstar, really. And I don't even deserve this, but it was just unbelievable and so much fun. And the other day, I by accident basically bumped into her in the shopping mall. So she started her own business with her husband, and she's not working in the supermarket anymore. So good luck with that one, Merav. And yeah, so I bumped into her in the shopping mall, and she was so sweet. And she was like, "Oh, I can't believe I'm meeting you, and you're so amazing, and I love you so much." And what that does to me is it puts a smile on my face for the rest of the day. So, yeah, so I want to dedicate that video to her, because she was actually the first one weeks and weeks and weeks ago, like the week I started my channel, when she asked and left a comment under one of my videos, "Please go and make a tutorial about brushes." So this is for you, and here it is for all of you. And let's see what I can come up with. So there's actually so much you can say about brushes, and I don't even really know where to start, because you can talk about, first of all, if they're synthetic or if they're real hair, or there's so many things that so many issues and whatever. I think what I want to do is go into the basics and then see how we go. And worst case, I'm just going to do follow-up videos. Yeah, so let me just show you a little bit of what I'm using. Blackout. Neat, 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 neat. Ah. So what I have in my brush collection is not necessarily what you need. Okay, so I have a brush collection for my studio here. I have a brush collection in my bathroom where I usually do my makeup. And I have two brush collections for clients. Because sometimes you know, if you have clients like two in a row, and you cannot clean your brushes between them. So yeah, so I need to have two brush collections for that. So of course you don't need that. And I only have like two private collections, one upstairs in my bathroom and one here, because I just cannot at nighttime when I'm filming, I cannot go through the house and like with a backpack of stuff and you know, carrying everything I have up and downstairs. Anyway, that's also a reason why I go for cheap brands, because I just need a lot. And I do think that there is maybe not such a big difference to other brushes, at least according to my experience. I have actually just one high-end brush, and I'm very disappointed with that one because it sheds like crazy, like no other brush I have. And that is from a brand that I really, really like and support and have also spoken about on this channel a lot. So that's disappointing because I invested in that one brush and I thought it would be much, much better. So what I'm using is basically mostly brushes from BeautyCare and a few brushes from Sakara and a few brushes from Careline. All of these three brands are local Israeli brands. So that's why I'm also going to show you, if you're not from Israel, I'm going to show you the shape, how they look, and you just find something locally where you live, if you want, that fits into that, what you need. Okay, so let's start with the angled liner brush. So there are different kinds, different sizes also. I'm just going to show you, and I hope it shows up. They look like this. Maybe, it even shows, this one shows up better without my hand. It is the bristles are very stiff, and it is angled and pretty short, like pretty small. And they also come in smaller sizes like this one. So this one here is from BeautyCare. This one is also from BeautyCare. It's just an older edition, that's why it's brown. This you can use for eyeliner, for like if you use gel eyeliner. So you need these very strong bristles that where you just have more control. They don't, like when you touch the skin, they don't like fall apart into different directions. So this is something, if you do gel eyeliners, then that's an essential thing you need. The next thing I think you need is a good blending brush. And mine, my favorites, they look like this. Okay, they're pretty big here. They have soft bristles and they have like a dome. They're not flat on top. And I use them to, for example, to work the crease like that, and like to blend out any harsh lines. I think they are brilliant. This one is called the Deluxe Crease K21 from BeautyCare. So I do prefer the BeautyCare brushes to the Sakara brushes, but I guess that's a matter of personal taste. I also do think that BeautyCare has a bigger range of different brushes, so I really like that. So this is a blending brush, and they also come in smaller sizes, like this one, for example. It's the K4 Deluxe Round Contour from BeautyCare. I use that, like, first of all, I don't care what they write on it, okay? And I've spoken to other makeup artists, and let me let me tell you, everybody does whatever they want. The companies, they print stuff on it because they think that's what they should be used for, but everybody is very, very, how do you say that? Like loose about it. I've seen people, makeup artists, who use the funniest brushes for stuff that you wouldn't think they would use them for. So like, feel free, see what works for you. Try it out. You know, just try it out. and then make your decisions on them. So they write here contour brush. I use it to apply eyeshadow in smaller areas, or like in the corner of my eye here for that highlight. I always use a brush like this because it's nice and round. You know, it's very, very easy to apply the eyeshadow there or the highlighter there. So it just makes sense for me. So just using my own brain and to a certain extent also my own creativity to decide whatever is good for me. You know, much like a painter would also decide, you know, I use this paint for this brush for this paint or for that background or for, you know, the same thing basically. Then the next category for me is these kinds of brushes. Just turning them slowly so you can see. Okay, they're basically the same, just this one is thinner and smaller, and they are pretty stiff. They're called like smudger. This one is called Deluxe Mini Oval Smudger from BeautyCare again, and this one I have no idea where that came from. It's called Crinkney. It's probably Chinese, I don't know, number 816. And anyway, if you do a cut crease, and if you have something that you have to apply, like being very precise, then these brushes are very good to pack on the pigment, like exactly where you need it. Because these are very, you know, they are so soft and they are really brilliant for blending. But if you need a sharp edge, then you have to go for something like this. It's almost like a concealer brush. Yeah, so this is how they look. Now, if I'm using cream eyeshadow, I'm using a brush like this. It is fluffy, but it is shorter, and it has a feel of a little bit more of control. And the wide head sort of helps to blend cream eyeshadow very, very nicely. So yeah, so that's my cream eyeshadow brush. It's called C153 Deluxe Large Chisel Fluff. How do they come up with these names? Like there must be a whole group of people who are just sitting down designing names that break your tongue. Anyway, so this is also from BeautyCare. Another thing I do recommend having is a spoolie. It's this one. And an eyebrow comb thing. This is a little bit bent out of shape. And now I just broke it. Oh no. Anyway, I have another one. So that was BeautyCare that, yeah, can go in the garbage. Okay, so here I have another one. I have no idea what brand that is. It probably came in some kind of set. So that's for eyebrows and eyelashes also. And also this spoolie is very, very important to have for doing your eyebrows and also for, you know, combing out your eyelashes when you have like clumpy mascara or something. Then that really helps to take care of that. Next one is a concealer brush. So me personally, I don't use it that much. This one is from Essence. It doesn't have a number, it just says concealer brush. And it is also pretty stiff. It's pretty stiff. And it's like good to, you know, put on the concealer. I personally like to use a beauty blender for that. I think I've mentioned it before that I like to use them to get into the corners and like dab it in instead of like putting it on like this. But it works just as well. And it's just a matter of personal preference. Meow. And yeah, so the Essence brushes are also pretty good. And they're also very affordable, so that's perfect. Now, while I'm holding this already, that's a good thing to have. I prefer beauty blenders above all other sponges. I use them for most of my foundation work or for touch up of my foundation work. And till about 2-3 weeks ago, I only used them for also for applying liquid foundation. I now have shifted to using brushes for that, and then just do the touch up around the corners and also here under the eye with a beauty blender. Just make sure that they are not dry. They have to be moist. So I always have a little spray kit with water here because, you know, I don't want to get up while I'm working. So I have that. And if you're putting your makeup on in your bathroom, then you have water there, so no problem. Anyway, so you have to make sure that they are moist and like not dripping wet, but you know, squeeze them a little bit with water and make sure they are all nice and fluffed up so they don't soak up all the moisture from your product, because then the application will be horrible and everything will look very dry and splotchy. So make sure they are moist. Make sure they are damp. I think damp is the right word. Okay, so make sure they are damp. Next thing I recommend having is contouring brushes, which come in different sizes, and they look like that. Like the small one, it's basically the same thing, just in small and in big. Okay, this is very fluffy, very nice, and these are perfect for contouring here. And the small one I actually use for contouring my nose because God has given me a nice big nose. So I'm contouring my nose to just make it appear a little bit smaller and not as wide. And I'm going to do a video on contouring at some point. Yeah, so these kind of brushes are perfect for contouring. And they're also very good, you know, if you feel bad, you can just ah. The brush, my favorite brush that I'm using for foundation, for liquid foundation, is the oh no, actually there are two that I'm liking to use. Wow, my English, I think I'm coming up with new words. Okay, so there are, for example, the this one. It's, you know, it's pretty stiff, but not very hard. And it's very nice for like buffing the foundation really into the skin. This is also from BeautyCare. It's called the Deluxe Everything is Deluxe. I don't know. So where's the normal line if everything is deluxe? Buffing brush. It's the 13B, number 13B. And this is how it looks. Fluffy, fluffy. I love that very much. There's also a different one. So there's also this one that I also like to use. That is a little bit softer, and I use it. That's the Maxi Angled Kabuki number 19 from BeautyCare, which is basically, you can use that also for liquid foundation, but I also use that for contouring, you know, basically whatever I grab first that looks right. So I'm not really that, it's not that kind of a science that this has to be for that and this has to be for that. And I'm anyway very bad about rules like this. Like as soon as someone tells me a rule like this, I go on defense, and I hate that because it just limits your creativity. And I have to tell you a story about that, like once I'm done with the brushes. This kind of a brush is also very nice for liquid makeup or for bronzing. You know, when you put your bronzer like all around your face. Yeah, you could just as well use a angled contour brush or this kind, anything that is like not too hard and you can blend very nicely so you don't get any harsh lines. So this one I just showed you is the C108 flat bronzer and makeup brush from BeautyCare. So there we go. Then I do have this kind of a brush. You don't need that, but I just wanted it because it looks fun. It's the number 23 fan brush from BeautyCare, and basically this one I use to like dust on shimmer because I don't like shimmer in like a harsh streak like that. but I just, you know, dust it on. Bronzer that you like push that you push, ah, that you want to like sweep over your body like this. So that would be the perfect brush for that. There are two kinds of brushes that I use for applying powder after the putting on the liquid foundation to like powder down my T-zone. So that would be a Careline brush for number 3 from Careline that I use, like this, or from BeautyCare Deluxe, of course, Powder Dome number 125. Looks like this. Very fluffy, you know, like very nice on the face. All synthetic, all of them are. And yeah, so that's for powder. Then there is something I personally really like. And that's another Careline brush. You don't need that at all, but I like it. It's the number 9 Careline brush, and that is for contour, for this. So, of course, you do not apply your contour in like a streak. You will have to blend it out. But I don't know. For me, first it felt weird and alien to have a brush like this, but I feel like it's nice. You know, I apply it and then I just blend it with a like a contour brush and go up and down like this and like, you know, fan it out. And I like this brush very much, and I have it in my client sets. I have it here. I have it upstairs in my own private collection. So they are also not very expensive, and I just like brushes. So let's face it, that's what it is. The fan brushes that I showed you, the big one before here, this one, they also come in small. So I have them too. They are also, you know, for applying shimmer and whatever. All of these you basically don't need. You can do that just as well with, you know, with that. Like if it's clean and you don't have a bronzer shade on it, just dip it into the highlighter and apply it like this. You don't need a brush for whatever, like 1,000 brushes. If you're starting out and you know, want to build up a brush collection, just go for the essentials. This is not an essential. It is, you know, in addition at some point if you want. And, you know, nothing bad will happen if you never have these kinds of brushes. So just saying you don't need that. It's just for the fun. And you can just apply the shimmer and whatever you want with any brush, basically. Just those larger areas of your face, I recommend using larger brushes because they just make more sense. They apply a nicer, smoother makeup or blush. Blah, blah. Oh, yeah. Okay, there are going to be a lot of bloopers today. I can see that. What I also like very much for blending my blushes is this kind. It's a angled kabuki brush, and it's number 18 from BeautyCare, and it's also like really flat and stiff. And sometimes I do apply the blush with like a softer brush and just sweep it on, and then the blending I actually do with this one. So, you know, it's a good thing to have. You don't have to have it, but I find it useful. So that's a recommendation. And then I just want to show you, for example, one of my sets that I have for clients. And a second, I just have to roll it out and I hope it doesn't all fall. It looks like that. And that's, for example, what I use when I do makeup on clients. So I have, I'm just going to get a little bit closer to the camera. So you see, I'm beyond crazy when it comes to brushes. But, you know, when I'm working on clients, it's just I don't want to have to deal with cleaning brushes between eyeshadows, and I cannot risk to ruin a makeup look on them. I can risk it when I'm on my own. I can always, you know, brush up and touch up and whatever, but, you know, time is money. And My microphone is like, okay. So you're under time pressure and you cannot then stand there and clean your brushes and or whatever. And I do not like those sprays that that you can spray on and then clean your brushes, because I really don't know what is in there, and then you put it back onto your eyes and it creeps me out. So I like to clean my brushes very traditionally at home with hot water and baby shampoo, actually, and alcohol. And yeah, so that's, I can go in all this if there is interest. Maybe I can even do like a video while I'm doing that, if I find someone who holds the camera while I'm washing my brushes. But I can give you recommendations on how to do it and what not to do, maybe a different time. But yeah, so that's why I also in my makeup kits I have like the same kind of brushes like 5, 6 times, so I can feel free to use different shades and whatever, and do not feel limited on, oh no, what I'm gonna do now. So I have my favorites, I know which ones they are, and of those I buy 5 or 6, and then yeah, I have them in my set, and that's how I go and um, pamper my clients. Then there is another kind of brushes that I just want to show you, and they're pretty new, like not new, but for like just a few years. These kinds of toothbrush brushes, I think. This for example is for foundation, and you put the foundation on spots. Like you don't put it on the brush. You put like your foundation spots on your face, and then you just smooth it in like this without the brush ever leaving your face. And you don't need that at all. I'm just saying, just to be, give you a more complete picture, that is also a possibility. They come in all kinds of sizes, and also very small ones for contouring, like a very small, you can like contour your nose or like go like under your eyelashes and stuff like that. I think for that kind of stuff, you have to be a little bit more experienced, or maybe just adventurous and try it out. There's also a round kind. It looks like that. These are all from BeautyCare. They come in sets of 3. They're way more expensive than the other ones. I just bought them, so I know what I'm like. I can try them out and know what I'm talking about when people ask me, but not at all essential at all. So there is just one more brush I really want to show you. That is the Pearly Flat. It's like a kabuki brush, number 22, also from BeautyCare, which is also very nice to apply liquid foundation. The bristles are very short and very stiff. So I always feel like the stiffer they are, the better you can work the product into the skin. And especially if you have like big pores or problematic skin, it is not enough just to brush it on. Anyway, I would not recommend that. But to in circular motions, really like with pressure, pushing it in. So brushes like that are very, very helpful. But as I said, the other brush I showed you before, like this one, it works just as fine. It's not as hard, and the bristles are much longer. But I personally use that on a regular basis. This I have as a backup. So just saying that is also an option. There are, of course, also brushes for applying lipstick. I have one somewhere. I really don't use a kind of lipstick that needs to be applied with a brush. So I'm not very much into that. I don't know much about it. So that's why I'm just not going to tell you, because I'm not going to pretend that I know anything about that. Yeah, what else? What I never really need is stuff like that. Like these kinds of smudgers, foamy things. When they come with a palette, I basically just throw them out, because I am applying all my makeup with brushes. I think that's way more, like, it makes way more sense for me. But, maybe you like these things to whatever. So then use them by all means. I really don't need them. Yeah, my friends. So let me just tell you the story that I wanted to tell you. The other day, I'm studying now about makeup and getting my license, and I had this incident where my teacher, I was just, I really don't know how to tell this story. And it's maybe it's just very insignificant, but for me, it just shows you how passionate I am about being myself. And my we were all sitting there, all the students, and the teacher was teaching. Everything was fine, and then she was like, we were sitting in a big circle, and she was going around, and she stopped next to me, and she used me as an example on how not to do your makeup. And I had like a full face of makeup on, very bright colors. I think it was like purple and burnt orange and whatever, like bright colors. Okay, so I have to say that makeup lesson was about natural makeup. Okay, so I get that, but I mean, why even refer to me when I'm so not about natural makeup? I mean, I know that I have to learn it. Those lessons, when I read that that's going to be the topic of the lesson, I was like already because first of all, it's super boring for me, and it's just, I know that I have to know it. I know that I have to learn it, and I know that I know it basically, but. Uh, and that most of my clients will want me to do exactly that, so it's fine, but to use me as an example on not to do like how not to do makeup, I thought that was so ridiculous, because she did not criticize my way of doing it, like technically. She basically criticized my taste. And I thought that was so out of place. um why? Like, what? And then she actually said, this is how you did it years ago. Nobody does that anymore. And for me, that is a reason to do it. Like, if nobody does it anymore, okay, good. Let's go in and mix it up and bring some color back into the world. Why should everybody, like 98% of the people, have this no makeup look, where they just have like a tiny little bit of, contouring your eyes and a little bit of shimmer and a little bit of mascara, and nothing drastic and nothing dramatic. And that's fine for if you like that, but let me be how I want to be. I will go like this, and I will still be able to do natural makeup on my clients. And what's the connection even? Why pick me out to tell me that this is not done today anymore? Who is to say? Who is to judge? Like, eh. It made me feel very bad. And I'm very much a believer of giving respect and honor to our teachers. That's also a teaching in Judaism. And I did not react in any way bad or mad or whatever. I only said to her then later on, when she came again and, and told me that that's not how you do it today anymore. And I said, okay, so it's all a matter of personal taste. But it really made me feel bad, because everything that restricts me in my creativity makes me feel like someone is taking the oxygen out of my life. And because I live for this. This is what I want to do, and this is how I want to create a new reality. Basically, every single day, I'm putting myself into a different world. And not everybody needs to like that. Not everybody needs to want that. But for me, this is what I want to be. And I know that people judge me left and right, but at least they shut up about it. Okay, so she was honest, and that's fine. And I moved on. And by the time I went home, I was already okay. But in that moment, actually, my jaw dropped because I couldn't believe that in front of everybody, she picked me out. And I think I am, from all of those people who are there trying to learn something, I'm actually the one who basically has the most experience with makeup. And I'm not saying that like to put me on a pedestal. It's just a fact. So because I'm dealing with it every single day, and I do have clients already, and I'm so passionate about it. Like, this is my life, you know. Anyway, so just wanted to like share this story out of my personal life. I don't know why, but you know, I'm just chatting with you. So. Plus, I'm not really that healthy today, so you have to forgive me. Last thing I want to share for today is about my weight loss video. Yeah, so my kingdom has grown quite a bit in the last weeks, and I'm so like every morning I wake up, there are like 2 more subscribers. Not every morning, but like it's it's so I'm building my my kingdom, and it's amazing. So really, I'm thanking you for that. But what I really wanted to say about that is I've told you a little bit about you know, that I've been really big and all these things. Like, I'm not saying big, I've been obese, like very like grade 2 obese. And yeah, so people have written to me and said, please share your weight loss story. So I've thought, when would be the perfect moment to do that? And I want, because it is a great story, and it's probably going to be at least 2 videos to talk about this. But I want to show you also pictures. I have a few screenshots from back then, how I used to look, and you'll be shocked. You will not recognize me, I promise you. So, but I want to do it in a special occasion. So what I'm going to say now is that I will do, once we once we reach 200 subscribers, I'm going to do my weight loss video in celebration of that. So yay, so almost there. So this morning when I checked, or when I'm filming this, I have 133. So it's probably going to be a few more weeks, which also gives me time to put down some thoughts so I don't forget anything. And because I'm not just sitting down and start blabbering. I'm really preparing these videos, which is very hard for me, because uploading 3 videos and editing and releasing and writing the descriptions and preparing the new video, and and have my 7 kids, and my husband is traveling for work, and I'm alone with the 7 kids, and I'm not 100% healthy right now, so it's a lot. So yeah, not complaining, I'm just saying, if my videos right now are maybe a little bit jumbled, that's because I'm really busy right now, getting everything, like trying to do everything. And it's a bit easier when my husband is at home, and like I have a backup just in case, you know. So just so you know, like for the next week or so, it might be that I have to like be a little bit more relaxed about my videos, but maybe you like that, and maybe I should just always be like that. So yeah, so leave me your comments and your feedback in the comment section. I really enjoy reading your comments. It's so nice, and I really appreciate your support so much. One tiny last, I don't know why I'm waving this at you, but I always feel good having something in my hand. I don't know, maybe I should have a microphone. Anyway, so the last little thing I wanted to share with you is actually a comment that I got on my last video from Tuesday on my wrapping tutorial, where one of my subscribers wrote to me, and she said, and I'm not like quoting this, I'm just telling you from my memory. She says that she appreciates my videos so much, and the content I'm giving, and not only she herself, but also I think she said her former sister-in-law, who has undergone depression, like severe depression, and she is watching my videos as well. And my subscriber who wrote to me, she said, yeah, so my former sister-in-law, she is starting to refer to herself as a queen now and talking like in the way that I try to implement it into my life, this whole queen thing. And it made my like it made me tear up because I I do have goosebumps right now when when I think about that a person who is in such a black hole and who is in depression, and that is such a bad place to be, and she starts to talk about herself as a queen. It's so easy that I could say, yes, you are a queen. I can say that, and it's easy for me to say that to you, but that you start to refer to yourself as a queen, that is huge. And if you see this right now, you sister-in-law of my subscriber, I'm so proud of you. I'm insanely proud of you. Keep doing that. And even if you don't feel it every day, keep telling it to yourself. Make like you're drawing it into reality. Okay? So don't give up, and like you're on the right way. You're on the right track, and be happy, and we are here to help. So I'm so glad that my videos are making a difference in people's lives. It's beyond my imagination and my what I could ever believe that anyone would like. I've said it before. It's like I don't know. So really, thank God, and I mean it. It's it is the most wonderful thing in my life to happen, to hear stuff like this. So thank you so much. So my loves, for anyone, if anyone here is new, please subscribe, join the tribe. It's so wonderful to have you, and I'm so flattered and proud of every single one of you. And if you like my content, even though it's maybe a little bit mixed up right now, so give me a like and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see. And I might not always be able to do it immediately, but I promise you I always write stuff down and I'll get back to it. And if I don't ever, then please remind me. It's really okay to remind me, because I have a lot of stuff going on in my life. So if I ever forget something, it's not like I'm not trying to be mean or to ignore you. It's just maybe something slipped through the cracks. Okay. So this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you really soon. I'm looking forward to see you really soon for my next video, and up until then, hugs and kisses.